All right, welcome back to another session of Awareness. I'm your host, Taylor Martin, and I'm here with Raquel Moore. So we're talking about spiritual mechanics and all of these wonderful tools that you teach and how they help with a lot of different aspects of both our physical body and our spiritual body. I guess, one of the things that reigns most present is that I see a lot of people that allow fear to rule their life. So it seems fear, there's a really big agenda on this planet, and fear seems to be installed in us really from a very young age. I mean, from a very young childhood age, it seems like we truly are programmed with fear. And even as an adult, I mean, I constantly see it, whether it's on the news or whether it's in a radio program or whether it's people I meet at an event or people that are in my car. It's so amazing to me how fear has consumed so many people's space and how it really dictates their life and their day-to-day. So let's talk a little bit about fear, where fear comes from, and how these tools can help us.
Well, fear is a programming device, and it is 98% perceived. And it is installed, again, as a control device, because young children usually aren't afraid of anything. They want to touch this, they want to put their hands in fire, they want to experience things, that's why you're here, is to learn those lessons. But if everything, you can't touch that, you can't talk to that person, stranger danger, be afraid of everybody, be afraid of terrorists, be afraid of strangers, be afraid of pollution, be afraid of the end of the world,
Pretty soon
be
it's
afraid of aliens.
Be afraid of living your life.
Yeah, and there's so many sensitive people, they don't even want to go out of the house anymore. They become recluses, be afraid of just everything.
Right, and I even find that fear a lot of times is still pictures that are stuck in you from past lifetimes. I mean, whether it's
absolutely.
Like claustrophobia is a main one, and I know people that have just a horrible sense of claustrophobia where they can't even go in an elevator. It rules their life.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that happened to them even within this lifetime to dictate that. So let's talk about how we. It comes from us from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, when I've read people in the past and they'll come to me with a fear, whether it's a fear of love or a fear of snakes or spiders or, like you said, claustrophobia, flying, I will look for the deepest, oldest picture in their body that's recorded. And it's usually from past lives. There's been a lot of, we'll just say, nasty tortures on this planet, whether it was in ancient Egypt or the Crusades, especially the one throwing them in the snake pits in ancient Egypt. That was a big one. So a lot of people are afraid of spiders and snakes, and you'll actually see these recordings of past life pictures or these entities in people's body. So the tools that you can learn will actually help you to delete these past life pictures or fears of these things that are stuck in you, almost like a holographic recording is what it looks like.
Right.
So if you start to delete these, then, or a lot of tortures, you've been stuck in a box or a cage and just tortured horribly. And so when you start to experience this again, all the pictures start rolling up on you and you're paralyzed again with fear. That's what these things are designed to do.
Right.
All of these pictures and tortures that have happened to you through all your, we'll say, adventures, whether they're on this planet or another one, were designed as a control mechanism, and they work beautifully.
Right.
Clearly, if you look around, people are paralyzed.
And it keeps people from being
talking, being themselves,
being in a creative space, creating
Absolutely.
their world, having their eyes open.
Crushes creativity.
Crushes them, and it just seems like there's a lot of people that are asleep at the wheel because of it.
Yeah.
And even today, especially as you look at all of these mass shootings that are always going on, and there was just one recently that was just down the road from my house, at the local mall, and talked to a few friends in the area, and they're like, I'm not even going to go in the mall anymore. So an event has created a
They're designed
reaction.
beautifully, aren't they?
Designed beautifully to do exactly what they want to do.
Yes.
So how do we not allow them to win?
Well, you learn the tools so you can delete the fear pictures so that you don't have to participate in the mass programming the mass fear programming. So that, I mean, with me now personally, because I have been through a lot of traumas before I even started this work, I can feel the energy vibrations start to change. Like if I know there's, we'll say, going to be a big disaster in a certain area, I just take my body out of it. I'm not going to participate
Right.
in who's ever orchestrated this, we'll say, fear program. I'm not going to play. I feel it, I'm going to leave, and then I'm going to delete whatever happens. Like all the stuff on the news that you see is normally fear program. It's orchestrated just like, you know, I mean, a lot of the people in the movie industry here know that a lot of this stuff is just created. A lot of the, we'll say, big disasters that have happened on the planet, they're kind of all orchestrated.
Right.
And a lot of people know this, but the programming still really works with people. So unless you can do this on your own, you know, like these tools are kind of like your own, it's like you're playing your own computer game of deleting programming in your own body. I mean, I know it's called spiritual mechanics, and I talk about it as a meditation, but it's a super active meditation. It's like you're your own computer game, and you're deleting all these pictures and images, whether you saw it on TV or you personally went through it. Like when you're in my classes and I have students who are like, oh my God, you know, I came in here thinking this was going to be all calm, and you're working the whole time.
Right.
But when you're done, you feel happier, clearer, more yourself, less in fear, less in trauma, because all these fear pictures, what they do is they start to accumulate in the physical body, and they make you sick mentally and physically.
Yeah. And they control your
Yeah.
life.
And who wants to
And
be
how
that
are
way?
you supposed to fulfill your purpose if your life is being controlled by something else?
Because you're distracted the whole time. You
Right.
can't fulfill it.
Right. So it's time that you stay in control. It's time that you kick fear out of your space. And it's time that you learn the tools. So let's stay aware, let's stay conscious, and thanks again for joining us for another session of Awareness.